Hey guys, how's it going? It is Smalls, and just before we start with me designing my friend's logo, I just want to tell you guys 3 things. So one, make sure to subscribe and turn on those notifications. We are super close to 100 subscribers, and also like and comment so more people can find this video. 2, last Friday we actually ended up hitting 2 years on YouTube, so I'm surprised we've actually ended up being really consistent for these past 2 years. And then number 3, I just want to explain the importance of sketching, because to design a logo I obviously didn't pull the design out of my. So these are the sketches that I created. Let me just get these closer. So this is my friend's logo right here that he wanted me to add. This was the original logo, and then I came up with different variations to see which one I would go with, and these are all the other variations, there you go, my bad. And then here are some other designs in the back, and then let me show you guys this one in the back right here. So I ended up going with something very similar to this, but with this page I actually ended up going with this logo, but I completely forgot that the Air Jordans logo is copyrighted. Like, I'm pretty sure it is. So with me not wanting to get in trouble with Nike, I decided to do something similar to that, so hence why this design is right here. So just so you guys know, my teacher did actually end up helping me with this, and my friend actually decided to pick his logo that he wanted me to make. But other than that, let's actually go into the designing of the logo. So hey guys, welcome back. This is the actual designing of the logo process, and let me just say that this video has been in the making for the past few weeks. So I don't know if you guys knew this, but a few weeks ago I actually ended up live streaming myself on YouTube designing these sketches for about 30 minutes. I didn't live stream myself for that long, but also because I had school, it took me a little bit longer to actually start designing the logo. After designing these sketches, I showed these to my teacher, told them if they were good and what else I can change, because I am taking graphic design as a class in my high school. So I ended up talking to him and see what else I can change. He gave me some ideas, and he told me he liked some of the top ideas that I showed you guys at the beginning of the video on the first page. But then I think a little bit after, when I got home, I actually just started designing new logos, and I actually ended up going with the shield one with the Air Jordans logo. And that one I actually did end up showing to my friend, and he actually liked that one. But I ended up talking to him about it, and I told him that the actual Air Wings logo for the Air Jordan 1, I think is for the Air Jordan 1, I'm just gonna call it the wing logo, but I told him that it might be copyrighted, and obviously if you're doing this professionally, you do not want to do things like these, because obviously you can get sued by the company if they want. So I told them that I can probably come up with a different variation, and I even talked to my teacher about this too the very next day, because it's kind of weird for my schedule. But I ended up talking to him the very next day, and he told me that actually I can actually do something very similar, just not a carbon copy of it. So that's exactly what I did. So as you can see up on the screen, I'm doing this is like the entire process that like I did. So that car logo that car that's up on the screen right now, I actually ended up turning that into an AI file or a vector file, which basically means it's going to be a very clear, crisp picture on the logo. So he's really into cars. That's one criteria that he told me about. Like, he wanted a car in his logo. Obviously I had different ideas for a logo for him, but this is the one that I ended up coming up with. So the way I came up with this logo, or the way I kind of came up with this idea and this variation, is that the Air Jordan 1 logo has wings on it, but obviously I didn't want to be a very, noticeable carbon copy of it. So I just went with some angel wings. Pretty dope idea. I think the way, or the design of the wings that I went with was pretty okay. If you guys saw at the beginning though, is that I actually did try to put a basketball inside the logo, but I didn't really like how it looked, because I was gonna go with a orange logo or an orange basketball, and I thought it really looked weird, and I think the black and white logo kind of always looks nice. And I did also want to incorporate that car, because he did ask me to do that. So after a while I did send him a picture and see, like, or I texted him and said like, yo, how does this look, which one do you prefer? Like, do you have any other specific ideas on what I could add? He just told me that he liked it, and I told him like I would be exporting it And this right now is when I actually sent them the pictures. I am doing, it looks like the screen froze, but it really didn't. That's just when I was sending them the pictures of the logos and see which one he liked. I definitely didn't like the basketball one just because it felt weird with the black and white, and then there would just be a splash of color, which to be honest isn't really a bad idea, but I just decided to go with it. I did actually end up having issues, so I turned that circle into a guide to see how big would the logo actually fit into whatever profile he wanted it to be. So I looked up the size of what specific profile for this specific app that he told me about. So the circle is a guide on like how the profile would fit, right? So that's exactly what I did, but I was having issues because once I actually exported it to Photoshop, it came out blurry once I actually tried to send it to him through email, and it was really weird. So the actual size originally was, I think, 800 by 800 pixels, but I ended up going with the original 500 by 500 pixels that most apps use, like YouTube or Instagram. I think he did want to use Xbox, but Xbox kind of has a bigger size. Its size is 1800 pixels by 1800 pixels, which is a lot bigger than whatever I normally work with. So I technically designed two logos for him, the Xbox one and some other one that he told me to do. And it also came out grayish in the video, or in the actual, like, if you looked at it once I transported, but I exported it to Photoshop, it looked very gray. So I looked up on Google to see how to make a very rich black in Illustrator, because my teacher actually showed us how to do that, but I completely forgot the colors, so I had to go look that up. But it was really complicated at the start. It took me 2 hours. I think that's why it took me 2 hours, but it just looked weird once I exported it. But right now you can see that the image is very squashed and it wouldn't really look good in a logo. So yeah, I had to kind of work my way around it. At one point I just stopped recording, and right after I stopped recording, I started the recording up again once I actually finished the logo and sent it to him. And actually I didn't send the logo right away because, to be honest, I didn't want to get scammed, but I really can trust that friend because he's not the type of person to scam people. I try to put a different color in the background here, but I told him that if it would be cool if I send him the logos once he actually paid me. He was cool with that. This past week I actually gave him the logos and he actually paid me for it, which, to be honest, he paid me 40. We did agree on 25, but he was just like, I don't have a $25 bill, I'll just give you the 40. I'm like, all right, sounds good. And honestly, it came out really good. It was a really fun process to design a logo for someone and actually getting paid for it, because graphic design is something I want to major in college, because right now I am a senior in high school. But this logo actually came out pretty decent. I think once he actually changed his profile, I went to go check it out, and the name's a little bit hard to see. The logo itself would have been fine without the text, but obviously I can't change that. He said he liked it. He hasn't told me anything if he would like some changes. If he does talk to me about it, I'll probably change it up for him, because he did pay me quite a hefty price for the logo. But other than that, don't forget to subscribe, turn on those notifications, hit that like button, and also leave a comment. Anyways, I really hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.
It's that good feeling, show me yo with it. Iced out teeth, she loves when I'm grinning.
You know I'ma tell you what to do, ayy.